I wanted to share with you a little personal story or a private story that I have no intention of blasting out anywhere else. And I wanted to share it because I think it's helpful in giving a kind of, I guess, a little look behind the curtains of how things still are actually in the UK. And I say this because I've been so lucky to have all of your support. People who used to hate me now saying, look, I kind of get it. We don't have to agree, but it's good that we can have other views. It's good that you're out there being positive. It's good that you're trying to stand up for people. People being kind enough to see what I've been trying to do all along. Or even people who are still haters, but are like, but she should still be allowed to do a theatre performance or whatever. And you'll know that I've been making real progress with your help. On the first tour, 48 venues pulled, many of them fully sold out. On the second tour, I think we only lost about 5 or 6, again, before we'd been there, fully sold out, but just pressure from management or stakeholders or people who are unaffiliated but somehow get to have a say. And that's really the story I wanted to just tell you today. And it's not woe is me. I'm not sharing this because I feel sorry for myself. I'm sharing it because it's just the quietness of what goes on in my life that no one knows about. But the reason I'm so fueled up all the time with this fight is because I know it matters. So let me just set the scene. And we're going to call it a large hospital. So a large hospital has a charity group. They helps them get funding, helps them get support. And someone lovely on there, trying to help make it work, reached out to lovely Mark and said, look, I know, tickets for Batshit Bonkers are always going to be sold out. I think we're nearly sold out of everything. We just added 2 more venues. We can't get enough venues or enough space fast enough. But anyway, because of hospitals and how we feel with, me being lucky to be cured of my epilepsy and genuinely we want to get, if there's a supporter working for a hospital, we want to help the hospital because that's a supporter, right? That's how this world should work. Anyway, they said, look, any chance of a couple of tickets, someone could meet Katie, and we sorted that out because that's exactly what we want all of this to be about. We win a bit, you win a bit, the charity wins a bit, maybe some people in the hospital might feel better, I don't know. All well, all good. And then this encouragement that close to the time I could help let people know that one of the prizes would be tickets to a show if they wanted to come, or just to generally support the charity. If they didn't want that prize, they could get a different prize. You can imagine. And we can reach about 30 million people every month with my social media, thanks to you guys. So then out of the blue, from management at the hospital that shall remain nameless, Katie, or actually via lovely Mark, I'm reaching out regarding your generous prize donation of VIP tickets to the Katie Hopkins show, Batshit Bonkers Britain, towards our blah, 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 blah campaign. We don't need to go into that. Since your donation, our fundraising research team has flagged the prize as high risk, with a probability of generating a negative reaction from various stakeholders across the charity and the hospital due to Katie's controversial views. Due to this, we're unfortunately unable to proceed in accepting the prize on this occasion. We apologise for any inconvenience this caused. And then, just to add to that, I used to work in corporate. I looked at the CC list and it is CC'd to about 15 people. So 15 additional people to what should be a private and personal phone call, because this is kind of a high level offence thing if you want to take offence, has just been blasted around everybody. So it will have been blasted around the sweet person who's a supporter who made all of this happen when we had to find tickets to try and give them. but also it's been blasted around other people as well. People who will dine out on it, people who will enjoy about it, people who will say, oh, look at this, and forward it along to other people. It becomes a thing. Some people enjoy it when other people are put down. Some people will feel sad about it, all sorts of things. And mostly the fact that, you know, I accept if you put yourself out there, you have to suck things up. I accept. If you want to be liked by everybody, don't go near the media. I've always said I'm accountable for everything that happens to me, good, bad, ugly and indifferent, because I put myself out there. But I will say this. There are times when if you're putting yourself out there, which is responding to a charitable request for a hospital, you actually, you know, there's reasons I care. This is a proper, it's a proper punch, right? It's a proper slap. Because you're doing something, you know, when I'm speaking privately to lovely Mark, I'll say, but I was trying to be a good person. Or, you know, I know I'm a good person. Like, I do know I'm a good person. But this is one of those proper, you're being good, you're trying your best. Lovely Mark's done a lovely thing and he put together a whole other thing for this charity. And it's a proper one of them, you know. And I guess 2 points on this. One is just, this is what happens when you have stakeholders or managers or blah, blah, blah. People are so terrified of causing offence or so terrified of something coming back. You know, where is the person that says, sure, we asked her to donate. She did. If you don't want the prize, we could pass it on to someone else. Like, where is the person with the spine that says, if you don't want to go, pass the tickets along. Throw them in the bin if you're really cross. Where is the spine? And there isn't one. When you have layers of management, everyone has slopey shoulders, as we would have said in the military, because they don't want the responsibility. They want to take their paycheck, but they don't want any of the responsibility associated. Although what responsibility there is in a gifted donation of tickets to something that's an optional event, please God. The second thing is, this is just the stuff of my life. I have to deal with this, process this. And I guess unlike so many other people out there, say like something happens to Alison Pearson, she has a knock at the door from the police. She, because of her still position, her profile, Telegraph columnist, she has all the boys, the free speech boys will run to her rescue, right? Rally around her. All full support to Alison. Oh, you get the free speech, whatever it's called, with Toby and the rest. Oh, Alison, we'll stand up for you. Oh, we'll provide lawyers. Oh, la, la, la. Everyone will rush to someone who's still kind of approved. But all of this journey for me has to be a lonely one, because none of those guys are going to turn up for me because they don't want to be contaminated by the association with me. And the genius of that is that I have you guys. So I don't have any of the kind of fraudulent free speech in a public setting, as long as I'm not contaminated people, but I have you guys. And when people ask, how do I stay so positive? How do I stay so motivated? How have I still been doing this for 20 years? This is exactly why. This email's exactly like this. Because once I've had time to take the hit, you know, get up from the one knee that they managed to knock me down to, you know, and have a chat with Mark, have a cup of coffee, maybe eat some chocolate. Once I can process through it, I go, right, go on then. That isn't going to stop me. And it becomes this thing that says, I'm going to keep going. I will, because the person that originally asked me to get those tickets, I want her to know I gave the tickets, I got punched a result, but here I am again. And I will give tickets again to the next charity that asks, because I will not be beaten. Not by unkindness, not by cruelty, not by corporate poor process. You know, this has been handled very badly as well. That's a separate matter, which I'm picking up with them. But I will not be beaten. And so I suppose my message is, by sharing this privately with you guys, is that something that I want other people to also try and do. please know, because obviously you'll see me jumping about, being a twat, dressed with my silly hat on or my silly little outfits or this and this bra, which, you know, there's more padding in this than there is in an 8-part Netflix series. I'm just saying, look at it. What I'm trying to say is how you present yourself is not always how you feel. And sometimes you have just taken a good punch. You won't be able to see it in any of my content. But the day that landed, you know, you have to pick yourself back up. And sometimes you have to front up and wait for the rest of you to catch up. And then eventually when the rest of you does catch up, you're like that. Right, come on then. Come on. I will not let this stop me. I will not let people who are smaller than me stop me. You may have a big old title and you may be in a high position at whatever charity or hospital or whatever. But I know I did a good thing. I know I'm doing the right thing. I know that you're in the wrong. And if I guess I'm sharing to say, try, if you can, wait the time to process. Wait while you're on one knee when you've been, wait on your knee. You know, if an old person falls over, they should always take their time, right? Wait on your knee. Get some breath, then get some coffee or chocolate or whatever you do. Then talk with your most private person. That could be yourself. Talk it through. Separately and in quieter time, as I am, dealing with the organisation to help them with their processes so they don't do this to someone else in the future. But mostly, come again. Come again. I thought it would be helpful to share it. Because this isn't the stuff I don't share. Tommy always said I never knew all of your stuff. Well, I don't like to talk about me and I don't like to talk about private stuff that happens to me particularly because I don't feel the need to complain. And this isn't that. This is just a little insight into how it is trying to be me and how I refuse to be beaten and how you guys joining me on the road and us being together is a really helpful reminder every day that if you stay on the side of doing the right thing, being good, trying your best, cocking up often, you know, nothing can ever really go wrong. So on you go. Take the punches, take time to build yourself back up, and then we go again, because let me tell you this, in the end, we win. And I know that for certain.